What's good people? It's your boy ENT, and I'm back with another banger video. Look, we got the Trump versus Harris, the face-off, the final debate. I think this is Kamala Harris's first debate. This video is influenced by Mia. She said that we all need to know what's going on in the world, and they're basically dictating our lives.
Please vote this year. Please. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Who you vote for?
Kamala Harris.
What about you?
If I vote, I got Kamala.
You got Kamala?
Yeah.
Mine is undecided right now. But this is why we're watching this. So, let's get it.
Down here in Philadelphia between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Their first face-to-face meeting in this presidential election, their first face-to-face meeting ever.
A historic race for president upended just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate. Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
The candidates separated by the smallest of margins, essentially tied in the polls nationally and in the key battlegrounds, including right here in Pennsylvania, all still very much in play. The ABC News presidential debate starts right now.
This is an ABC News special, the most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala Harris.
Together, we will charge a new way forward.
Donald Trump.
We will soon be a great nation again.
Face to face, historic.
Oh yeah, if y'all wanna pause and talk, just tell me pause it.
The ABC News presidential debate. Here now, David Muir and Lindsay Davis.
Good evening, I'm David Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis. Tonight's meeting could be the most consequential event of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away. For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew from the race on July 21st. Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump in June. Since then, this race has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns. The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for rebuttals and 1 minute for follow-ups, clarifications, or responses. Their microphones will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak. No pre-written notes allowed. There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution Center. This is an intimate setting for 2 candidates who have never met.
President Trump won the coin toss. He chose to deliver the final closing statement of the evening. Vice President Harris selected the podium to the right.
So let's now welcome the candidates to the stage. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Would you be interested in collecting 5-figure pay?
Wait, so y'all ever been in a debate, like in school or anything?
I mean, my own debates. Like, if I don't agree with somebody. but I haven't been like on a debate team.
Kamala Harris.
So this is what the debate team is doing.
Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you both here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their #1 issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
Absolutely.
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month.
Bro, because it's just dumb funny because, bro, she, like, alright, what she's saying, her viewpoint is valid. Like, alright, yo, we gonna make the middle class the working, the new valid class.
Yeah.
But Trump is just like, bro, it's either you on the winning side or you on the losing side. Like, pick one, nigga.
Economists have said that.
But she, like, wait, can she do that? Like, she fake throwing salt on the nigga.
What you mean?
Like, because he was president already. And she, like, saying it how, like, listen to what she said.
Sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month.
She's saying, like, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
What he did.
Yeah, what he did and what he's going to try to do again. He's going to try to make billionaires pay less taxes and us pay for their shit, basically.
Yeah.
Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. They would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon.
Wasn't
and
there people that spent what's it called, Delaware or whatever the fuck?
Okay.
It was like what are those people called? They Spanish. They was Spanish. They tried to take over Chicago, but Chicago wasn't going for that. But it's like the cartel or some shit, nigga. It was wildin', bro. I think they took over Colorado.
I didn't know about that, but I do know that they are like during Biden's like running or whatever. He has let in a lot of immigrants, and they have been taking our job. That's
crazy, but Trump
I
was
don't
heavy
know
on
about
stopping
the asylums or the jails and stuff like that. I think that we should just, keep track of people that come into the country because we are a free country and we allow people to come here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not about to. I feel like we shouldn't close off all immigrants, but not every immigrant should be allowed here. That's like,
That's crazy.
They have, like,
see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again, and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump, will give you a minute here to
I
respond.
really hate that. Like, bro, like why she gotta keep throwing short? Like, what we're gonna hear from him tonight? Like, how the fuck do you know that?
I mean, he throwing salt too, trying to say that she freaking let immigrants and shit in when she's the vice president. She's not the president. That's the shit that Biden did. You know what I'm saying?
How the
Like,
fuck this nigga be talking?
he literally be talking
Bro,
crazy
but
all the time, and
listen,
she not even saying nothing that's throwing
That
salt.
nigga
I
be
would say
talking
she's just
reckless.
saying exactly what he gonna say.
Nah, she
Or do.
is, but it's like, bro, isn't that like a tactic?
I mean, for sure, but it's a debate tactic. Get that nigga to think. I feel like at the end of the day, that's the same thing as him continuously calling Biden freaking senile and whatever the last debate that made him drop out. Like, come on, she just doing the same thing.
Yes, nigga,
Like,
him to drop out.
He literally kept on calling that man old, kept on calling that man having dementia, all that shit, and he finally dropped out because everybody was agreeing with Trump. Like, so at the end of the day, Kamala doing the
so
same
they
thing
really
that Trump did.
packed them like that. So I'd be agreeing.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas. I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back, and it bounced back and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So, Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse, mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
It's just a soundbite. They gave them that to say. Look, I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. Just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this, because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have, and who's going to have higher prices, is China and all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI.
He just sold chips, nigga. Don't they make everything? China.
I mean, they do make everything, but I don't think they're actual chips. I think they're like American, like tactics and like things that we have that China doesn't have.
That's what I'm saying.
But China does make everything, but we have like the strongest military. We have the strongest technology. We have the strongest like things like that.
Military.
So
I know we the.
Exactly, and he probably sold things to China, basically to that make them able to blow us up.
Like being cool with them niggas.
All of that is not good.
He giving them what they really want.
That is not
good. The secrets to what our shit is. He giving that shit away. Then what? And then
I'm pretty sure a nigga is Trump, bro. Why would he give away the good shit?
Nigga, that's his means.
I'm about to say, like, what?
Oh, yeah.
As long as they cool,
I ain't gonna lie,
we don't give a damn what happened to us down here.
Trump doing his thing, man, nigga. He keeping the peace, nigga. He was keeping shit.
That's not peace. For him. That's peace for him. He's gonna get up
hey, Trump, I'm with you, nigga. like, I need
quantum computing. Focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having, on the short end of the stick, in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump did, let's talk about this, with COVID, is he actually thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that she was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID?
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy. They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade.
Like, can we just take a step back, bro?
What?
Like, hold on. I know
Last
they gonna
year, you
change the
said
view.
that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history.
Alright, they ain't changed the view. Bro, there's only 4 people in this room. Now this shit is just being televised. So they don't even gotta do nothing. How was this back in the day? Because they didn't have none of this.
Well, I mean, I think back in the day, it was like radios and it was like people like bought tickets and things like that to see debates. Because even I think Donald Trump and Joe Biden's debate last year was like people could buy tickets and go.
Word?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not last year. Whenever they did their debate,
But
it wasn't last
whenever
year.
they did it.
It was like
Cause Biden, I mean,
but it was
Trump,
people there.
Because he just got
Trump-
shot. They was the jacket.
Nah, he been trying to. The nigga didn't even want to debate her at first. He was ducking
Yeah,
her
he
some
was
shit.
ducking her so bad, and
And
then they
he didn't
finally
want to
said,
do it. He didn't want to do it on certain news channels and shit.
yeah, because
And
like
then they
propaganda and all that
and
shit.
They finally came
And they
together.
finally made him basically. I feel like everybody on the internet bullied him into doing that because everybody was calling him pussy and all that shit because he
Word?
wouldn't go against
He wasn't
Kamala.
trying to
Yeah,
go against her.
it was all over Twitter, all over.
So he was
TikTok.
ducking?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while.
You're supposed to been through this debate.
And then
shit.
Kamala even made, I think, what's it called, towards him because she has like a TikTok and like obviously TikTok manager and shit. So they did something petty on her account and like basically called him out for not wanting to debate her.
Damn. On TikTok?
Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many
This is what you was talking about, right?
with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times.
This nigga get the women to vote against this nigga, bro. Like,
It's done.
there's just so many women in this world,
It's
bro.
done.
And for you to come out your mouth all crazy saying that they can't do this, they can't do that, you know how women think, bro. And then it's just like they have the option to vote still. It's not like they under your rule where they can't vote, nigga. It's crazy, bro.
I got it's different than fucking. What's the name?
For what?
What?
What year was that? When Biden, I mean not Biden, Hillary Clinton.
Oh,
She
yeah.
when she ran,
Yeah.
She's
it's
stupid.
different. Yeah,
She didn't know what to say or do. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
She didn't know what she was doing for real, bro.
She just she didn't have the word capacity.
And I
to,
feel like she
go
was
back
a
and forth.
I feel like she was a bot.
Yeah.
she
I
was-
mean, her husband was president
That's what
before
I'm
she
saying.
was. So I feel like she was just trying to like
She
see
was just
if she
trying
could
to
do
really
it.
do some shit.
I feel like she was just trying to see if she could
Kamala.
do it.
You feel like she got a hat on, right?
I feel like she got
you.
something to prove. Like she's a black woman in America. If she becomes the first black woman
got
president, like she
Nah,
has something
yeah.
to prove. Like she
That's
definitely
nice.
could
That is
right now.
damn.
Like what?
And they talk about like, oh, she not black, but
She
nigga,
is.
you gotta cut that out,
I
bro.
don't understand
Nigga,
what the
just-
fuck they
That's
gonna
what I'm
do
saying.
with
Like
this nigga,
regardless of your ethnicity, like I said to you, it's what you look like. It don't matter if you Spanish. It don't matter if you fucking Italian. It don't matter. If you look black, you gonna be black. If you look white, you gonna be white.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got charges on me. Them niggas coming to get me next day.
What?
How the fuck this nigga got charges on him? And he's
literally having a debate.
Real though. And they just putting it out there, bro. He know his lawyers. That's why I voted with them. His lawyers too is too amazing. They know what to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie, you got that much money, nigga, you better be able to do this. Nah, like, you got the knowledge, nigga. He like 70 something, nigga.
This nigga is pushing 80. He is 78 years old. He does not need to be in office. Please remember that, y'all.
I ain't gonna lie.
He is 78 years old. He can croak and die tomorrow. Do not put that man in office. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
So, yo, but you think it should be an age limit?
For sure.
60?
For sure. That man could pass out and die tomorrow, and we will not have nobody run the country if he was to live.
They gotta be able to fight too.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
You gonna let somebody deck you from another country? Like,
niggas, they need to start having
he just
start having
the bullet.
That tribal
color. I ain't gonna lie, niggas is gonna have to be training since birth.
I'm saying. Yeah, I bet you all.
So the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is, they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, is doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's an execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through the genius and heart and strength of 6 Supreme Court justices, we were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important. But we were able to get it, and now states are voting on it. And for the first time, you're going to see, look, this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. Now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime, a violation to their body, does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted?
He's not really telling women what they could do with their body.
He is, though. But
He's telling doctors what not to do to the women.
But he is telling women what they can do to their body because he's taking away.
Nah. It's a big difference in that. It's a big difference in that, bro.
It's not. Because it's what the woman wants to do. The doctor's just doing what the woman wants to do. Just like if you need surgery on your leg, your doctor gonna perform that. Trump not gonna take away your right to get surgery on your leg. Like, what type of shit is that?
What I feel is though.
What type of shit is that?
Listen, me. What I feel is though, like, I just feel like after the first 3 months,
which everything after that is kind of illegal, basically. I think after before 15 weeks, anything before 15 weeks is fine. Anything after that is legal, for the most part.
it's illegal after 3 months.
Basically.
Oh, so then they should just keep it at that. Cause
exactly.
Like,
why are you?
I ain't gonna lie.
Women make the decision in that time anyway. It's like, who's going 6 months and be like, oh, I don't want it no more. Let me pull it out. Like, who the fuck is doing that, y'all? Like, the second a woman finds out she's pregnant, she's making that decision. Do I want it or not? It's
so?
not like, yes, most women do that.
In a day?
Not in a day, but you can take a week, you can take 2 weeks, you can take your time, because I'm pretty sure you're finding out within that month or two.
Yeah.
And then you're figuring it out, and once you figure it out, about a week max, because you need to get this, get it done.
Yeah.
You don't have time to waste, but you don't have to make the decision tomorrow. But with something like what Trump's trying to do and put a 6 week, you got to make that decision tomorrow. You don't get to think.
6
and that's
weeks.
wrong to take away somebody's rights to think. Yeah, a month and 2 weeks, and most women don't find out until a month and 2 weeks.
Huh? Yeah, that's not enough time.
Like, that's not fair.
But I ain't gonna lie, if it's
what if she dirt poor? What if she dirt poor? All she got is $500 to her name, and she wanna. I don't want no baby. I'd rather be dirt poor by myself than be dirt poor with my kid.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Damn.
That's so unfair.
That's crazy.
Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban, because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter, because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came to
Well, I
your
won't
desk?
have to, because again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress, she'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote.
He is.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's
Nigga,
being
because,
very tactical.
I won't have to. It's different from saying yes or no, gang.
Nah, that's very true.
When it does happen, then what? I didn't say no. So then what? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, nigga,
Better pull out.
He thinks he's so smart, but in all reality, like,
that's not an answer, bro.
bitch, you really, like, you trying to say stuff so that, people can lean towards you, and then when you really do get in office, you're gonna fucking destroy our lives. Like,
I didn't say.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna do that. I didn't say I was gonna do
just said it
this.
shouldn't have come to us. Nah, nigga, you're not fooling me.
So Trump's number one rule. Let me take these notes. Take these notes. Look.
Yeah, that's that wordplay.
Never give a definite answer.
You're right.
Yo, I thought debates was used to be. I ain't gonna lie, I would never have spent my time watching this, bro. This is fake funny. They show you how to combat people who were just talking. Like, yo, this is fake fire.
especially now with the 50-50, essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again, we'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got
3 people under your
taunted
shit,
with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been.
Y'all people how you just switch that whole shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Yo,
The
Trump
man
is
running
the go.
in
Yo, but this nigga
circles.
to go, bro. Like, yo, bro.
The man
nigga
is
just
running in circles. He's not
look
even
at her
talking
face,
about
bro.
this shit.
You gotta keep her face, bro. What is this bro?
And part of the reason they lost
Yo.
to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness,
you
J.D.
gotta be
And I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me. But
Answer
I
the
really
question.
did.
Yes or no?
We don't have.
It's 2 minutes on the clock and
He's
wasting
still
that time.
Like,
He's still
what
in
are you
discussion.
talking about?
That nigga looking at that 2 minutes.
Discussion
That's
because she
right.
never going to get it. Just like she couldn't get student loans, they couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. So wonderful. Let's go to Congress. Do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream of having a family are being denied IVF treatments. What is happening in our country? Working people, working women who are working 1 or 2 jobs, who can barely afford childcare as it is, have to travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next to strangers to go and get the health care she needs. Barely can afford to do it, and what you are putting her through is unconscionable. And the people of America have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the ballot, in red and blue states both, the people of America have voted for freedom.
Vice President Harris,
Excuse me, I have to respond. Another lie. It's another lie. I have been a leader on IVF, which is fertilization. The IVF, I have been
Another
a leader.
lie.
In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month? Okay, would you do that?
No.
Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer
That's
the
problem.
question, would you
Because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question,
you
would you
could
veto?
do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th month, and probably afterwards.
They be debating like how we debate or some shit, but it's just their way, like also. But it's like, nigga, when you up there with talking to people, you could peep the bullshit. So like how he avoiding the question, we could peep it every time. And I don't know, bro. They need like a referee that ass in the middle, like, yo, bro, stop avoiding. For both of them, bro, because they wildin'.
Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia.
Like, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm being biased.
I do have a bias. You said I'm
I feel like I'm biased because I don't feel like Kamala's avoiding the questions. I feel like she might not have the right words, but she's answering the questions.
No.
She only avoided that one.
Yeah,
I heard.
cause it's like it's nigga. It don't make no point in her saying that.
But like, I feel like she already said.
No, I feel like she's being more open, like with her
100%.
responses.
And I don't feel like she avoided that 7th, 8th month, 9th month question either, because
It's not even her turn to
stupid
speak.
to answer.
I ain't gonna lie, it's not even her turn to speak.
That too, but it's also stupid to answer because, bitch, why would I let somebody have an abortion at 6, 7, 8
Yeah.
months?
That's
Like,
what, and she also
the
was
fuck are
saying
you talking
that's a what you call it to a woman. Like,
that's an
there's nowhere-
insult. She already technically
there's
answered
nowhere-
it.
Nowhere that's happening. It's not
Yeah.
even happening. So
That ass though.
why the fuck?
But he just saying that just to like.
He's
to
trying to
take
just
it.
get a rise out of
Yeah,
it.
bro, he gotta take the
Get
view
a
for
rise
that.
out of it.
Like, so we back to the abortion. Hey, nah, nigga, you gonna kill it? Nah, like,
Governor of Virginia said we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border.
wait, tell me, before he asked this question on some real stuff, so we all with Kamala Harris's side of the abortion. She's winning that little bracket.
Yeah.
So like, alright, who you think is winning so far? Out of this 26 minutes, who's winning?
I mean, I feel like I'm a little biased once again, so I'm gonna say Kamala. I just feel like she's articulating herself way better than Donald Trump is. Like, Donald Trump just keeps avoiding and running around in circles when he gets asked a question, and Kamala's like giving prompt answers to the prompt questions, if that makes sense. So I just feel like Kamala's winning, in my opinion.
What about you, Jay?
Say that again.
But there is no
Who you
winner.
think is like winning in the debate? Like whose side is swaying you more?
Oh, come on.
Kamala. Okay,
I don't know. Like, just. And that's why I said I really don't even feel like I don't have a bias.
Yeah.
Because it's like when it comes to this shit, bro, I really just don't believe anybody that be talking. If
That
I'm being
ass.
honest.
No, real
I don't
talk.
believe nobody.
Yeah, no.
Like that. You can say all you want. And just
100%.
and get there and do something totally different.
100%.
And so, but like, it's just, nigga, by the way I do shit, by the way I listen to people, and that's how I'm trying to listen to them. It's like, Kamala don't seem like, Kamala, I feel like she talking to niggas.
That's what I'm saying.
Trump, it's like, even with the way she talking, she look at that nigga when he talk.
Yeah.
He don't look at her when she talk.
Yeah.
Even when she talk, sometimes she look at her. He'll glance over like this.
Made eye
He
contact
don't.
with
Yeah,
her
he
at
don't
all.
look at her at all, bro. It's like it's just like a. It's like I don't know. I'm just getting that vibe. Like she.
And
she's
one,
on
I
it.
feel like
that nigga, bro. From what I'm hearing, bro, and from just what I'm seeing, bro, he bullshitting, bro. This is all the just a storyline for him, bro.
Yeah, no, for real, no,
Like,
for
this is
real.
all the storyline.
Oh, for
And I
real.
just feel like also,
I ain't gonna lie. Anybody that been in New York for over 3 years, bro, I know certain shit is a storyline for them.
Yeah, bro.
Cause nigga,
sometimes you just be doing shit, bro. Like, and that's what I feel like he doing, bro. This nigga is damn near about to be like
80 years old, yo.
80 years old. You got
bro.
charges. I don't even know how this shit work with the charges.
that's
like,
not
if
even
he
gonna
get-
hurt for the nigga.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how did that go? Is he just immune? Like, if he get charged, do he not? He 80 years old, so it's like if he do any time, the
Time
nigga
is
gonna be
up.
dead. Like, his time is there up. So like it's just like, bro. It's just like, bro.
That's what I'm also saying too. Like, I personally, like, we've been through the Donald Trump phase. We've been through the old president phase. Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm done with
This
it.
nigga
I need
died.
somebody in there that's not going to
nigga
croak
died.
and die within the next
This
10
nigga's son
years. You know,
doing
like,
coke
I
with
just
some
can't.
shit. Well, not
I
his
can't
son.
do it no more. Even his own niece is going against him. His own niece was like how the debate made him look incompetent, and if you vote for anybody besides Kamala, you're fucking stupid. His own fucking niece. I reposted it because it was his niece. Like,
Yeah, man.
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
so at the end of the day, like I said, I just feel like I'm.
I
sick
feel
of the
like
whole
Trump
Indian
knows,
storyline.
I'm viewing this from afar right now, like, cause it's like I see everything that is going on, like even down to the deflection of the questions to actually hearing what they got to say, and they both not talking about shit. In my eyes, like Kamala, it seems like she got her stuff together.
That's why I said
It seems like it.
she articulates herself well, and she's younger.
Yeah, but that young don't got young. I ain't gonna lie. That experience is something different than that young shit.
See,
Donald Trump,
but you
I
gotta
don't want
think
Donald Trump
but you gotta
experience
think
in the
about it,
office
right?
though.
You gotta think about
That
it.
nigga's experience is fucking fraud.
Do that shit, really, do that
Shit.
shit, like when it comes to this,
Mhm.
do that shit really matter?
What?
Experience.
You are the president of the United States. You 80 years old, let's say she 50, 60 years old.
Yeah, she's like 50 something.
What you do for the next years will either like advance.
Yo, bro, he's not living through that shit either, bro.
Gang,
He's not
that's what I'm
living
trying
through
to.
that
That's
shit.
really what I'm about to
Like,
paint to you, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
gang, if you think about it, like,
Damn, I felt yo, bro. Something in
really
my
give a
head
fuck?
yelled that shit. So what you thinking that in your
yeah,
head? Like,
that's what I'm about to paint that whole shit to you, gang. Like, bro,
yeah.
she's gonna be here.
She probably gonna have grandkids that's gonna grow up in the world.
I
that
didn't even
she's
know this nigga was
created.
80. That nigga really don't got long, bro. Like,
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
80,
I ain't gonna lie, this
78,
nigga been around for mad
The
long.
nigga
This
will be
nigga old as
82,
water, bro.
His parents
That's what I'm
died
saying,
at,
bro.
I think, 88 and 90 something. His dad died when he was
Like,
like
dang.
60.
That nigga about to die in like 2 years.
Like,
Old bitch knocking on like 60.
Border crossings reached a record high in the Biden administration. This past June, President Biden imposed tough new asylum restrictions. We know the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime trying to do their job.
What she said?
It would.
That's what I'm saying. What fucking experience did this nigga even have?
that's what I'm saying. He literally wanted to.
Bro, that nigga
she about to
Just
say it,
been
but he
a
literally
public
wanted to
figure.
This nigga's a free agent. Bro, I promise
That
you.
nigga was in Home
Bro,
Alone and shit.
WWE
Nigga,
nigga, bro.
What experience did this nigga really got that he's like, he's supposed to be this nigga?
And he literally
Yeah.
he advocated to put the
For
Central
the Central-
5
yeah,
to
bro.
go into the
Nigga
fucking
put
jail
5 little
and
boys in
death
jail that didn't even
penalty.
do that shit, bro.
Wait, what?
You
Bro,
hear
you never
about
seen
the
the
Central
Central
Park,
Park game?
Central Park
Yeah.
Five?
Yeah, bro.
He advocated to put them in there and put them on
Nigga put
death
a whole
row.
ad. Nigga put a whole ad out, bro, saying
Like-
killer boys.
What?
Like,
Yes,
bro, I'm not fucking
yes.
with this
And
nigga.
they were innocent
Oh,
kids.
nah,
He really
He's
got,
gay,
bro.
bro.
Nigga don't, what the nigga really got, bro?
Nah, he
Like-
don't, bro.
Like, come on, bro.
That nigga don't got none of that
That
nigga.
man
experience,
needs
bro.
to be
Nah, yeah.
Like,
put in jail.
that
Like, put
nigga's
man
a
in
fucking
crazy
celebrity,
ass
bro.
feet.
He's a celebrity.
He needs
That's
to work
it.
Would
in
have
jail.
He's a
allowed-
glorified celebrity. Like,
Basically.
a really glorified celebrity, bro. That's
Literally
what
that
it is, bro.
I ain't
became
gonna lie.
president.
I ain't gonna
Because
lie,
he been
bro.
around so damn long.
Word of bro, nigga. The Trump, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Nigga, what?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Fuck that, bro. This nigga
This nigga go around wearing makeup. Like, look at this nigga.
Damn.
That's not the same color as his fucking, bro.
You're-
Talk about
Come
where,
on,
where
kid.
the fuck did his ear get shot? It's not even there no more. Like,
Yeah,
nigga
bro.
be pulling stunts, bro.
Yeah,
Nigga
bro.
just be
Like,
pulling
come on,
stunts.
Like, he's
bro.
an actor, y'all.
And then the nigga just
It's
got shot at today.
He what?
Nigga, he was in Florida or some shit. It was golfing or some
Bro,
shit.
why
And
this
somebody,
nigga
and
steady getting
they
shot
said
Because
they shot
nobody
somebody.
likes him.
Like,
Oh my God. What are you
Dang,
not
bro.
understanding?
Damn, that nigga can't play golf no more. Nigga, you get
Allowed
pulled
us
out.
to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been
Pack that shit,
personally
that's one touch,
affected
you out.
by the surge of fentanyl in our country.
literally.
That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute.
Yo, where the bro? Take that fentanyl
Yeah,
shit
bro,
out,
she
bro.
started talking about that now, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, y'all nah.
Nigga, that hit home.
Yeah.
Get that shit out.
Pack
bro.
it, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not
Yeah.
fucking with that.
But yo,
Yeah.
where the bro? Stop
Yeah.
touching my. No. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop touching my weed,
bro.
Gang-
That ass. Stop
Bro,
touching niggas' weed.
how y'all gonna clear the
Fuck this
block
shit
out?
up,
Like y'all
bro.
niggas is bugging out, bro.
Fuck
I
this
ain't
shit
gonna
up,
lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. There's no way, nigga. There's no, bro. There's no way, nigga. Slide back to the
Come on,
town,
bro.
niggas slip back to New York, and all the weed shops shut down. Bro, what are y'all doing, bro? The weed not hurting nobody, bro. If anything, it's keeping the world safer.
But see,
Everybody's
that's the
calm.
thing, nigga. Niggas is fucking with it, so it is.
Yeah, bro.
So it is.
Yeah.
It is hurting niggas, bro.
It is,
Like
nah.
fucking fentanyl shit, bro.
Nah,
that shit,
yeah,
that
bro,
shit.
niggas is fucking with it, and that's what they putting in that shit. But that shit is fucking crazy, and they thought they was low. They putting that shit in a grabber too,
grabber, bro.
Nigga,
Like,
bro,
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's yo, bro, that's wild,
That's
bro.
crazy.
That's
Shit.
wild,
That's a
bro.
different type of demons.
That's wild, bro.
Transnational criminal organizations for trafficking in guns, drugs, and human beings. But you know what happened to that bill? Donald Trump got on the phone, called up some folks in Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
That's why he run away from all his problems.
It's not even
He got
no.
30
It's not even
problems.
that. That's our problem. He don't give a fuck about our problem. This is the thing.
basically what
But
it is.
I love Trump only because he think in a similar way that real rights.
I feel like, but I feel like that's okay
Yeah,
to
and that's
agree
okay.
with some of his thinking.
No.
But he's not a good
See,
person.
that's okay.
Like,
But a nigga, the president of the United States can't be that.
Nah,
Like-
yeah, but that's what I was just about to say, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it's
what
cool
I'm
for
saying.
like that type of nigga.
Bro, you don't have to be the president to do. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, you was having your way before the presidency.
Yeah, bro.
So it's like, bro, for you to think, oh yeah, it's dumb sweet, I'm gonna win again, like, and still wild out, bro. You bugging, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, he don't take care of the problem. What, and especially if the problem is left or right, is it gonna help me or is it gonna hurt me, or does it even matter to me?
Yeah.
If that joint is not the left, like if it's not gonna help him, you don't care to even acknowledge the problem.
Exactly.
Especially if he disregards the problem and stuff gets better for him, like more crackheads, more people, like anything, bro, anything.
Yeah.
All of that shit
Literally,
helps
like-
him.
And that's the crazy part. He gonna glorify. He gonna glorify saving the crackheads when he making the crackheads.
Yeah, bro,
That's
and that's the
crazy.
thing, bro. Like what,
Nah, see,
bro? Like we know what's
That's
going
exactly
on,
what
bro.
white people do.
that's
Nah,
crazy.
bro. That's
That's another
wild.
conversation.
Problem.
That's wild.
And understand, this comes at a time where the people of our country actually need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses the problems at hand. But what we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. And I'll tell you something, he's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual.
It's crazy because she dead ass has to do that.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
I'm pointing it out, like yo,
Pointing
but
that
watch
shit out her head.
But I ain't gonna lie, she has to do that,
With a
bro.
nigga like that, you have to.
Cause
have
you
to.
know what he gonna do.
use that
That's
to
his
his
tactic.
advantage.
Yeah,
And she gotta get the
use
dumb
that to
people
advantage.
at home
Yeah,
to understand that.
shit.
Like that's crazy.
And I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your
Well, I would
response.
like to respond.
Bro.
You said what?
I said, I think at rallies, there be concerts, bro. He be
Word.
bringing out Lil Pump, fucking
Yeah.
5-year-old,
Nah, he
Chef
did,
G.
bro. Chef G.
But
Come on
y'all
now.
gotta think.
Bro,
He
bro,
needs
bro.
something to stay
Yo, you
relevant.
remember
He's a
niggas
fucking
was dead ass
celebrity,
like,
bro.
yo, niggas was dead ass like,
Tell you, bro.
nigga, everybody posted on IG. Yo, y'all trying to go see Chef G?
Yeah, nigga was in the Bronx. Nigga, what the fuck are you doing in the Bronx?
Bro, word too,
Like, somebody
bro.
come get this nigga. What y'all doing, bro? Like, real shit, bro.
Hey, this your boy, he
Why
dead
did
ass.
y'all niggas let this nigga walk through
Hey,
the
he
Bronx,
dead ass
bro?
be untouched too, like,
Come on,
yo,
Come on, bro.
yo,
So let me
bro.
just ask though, why did you try
78 years
to kill
old,
that bill, and
78
successfully
years
so,
old,
that would have put
feature
thousands of
with fucking
additional
Kodak
agents and
Black.
officers on the water?
First, let me respond as to the rallies.
Like,
You said people start leaving. People don't go
what
to
a
her
song,
rallies. There's
bro.
no reason to
He's
go.
supposed to be my
And
president, bro.
the people that do go, she's
supposed to be
busing
my
them in
president.
and paying them to be there. and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase. Make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here, you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there had been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community. Harmed, injured, he told us there had been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television saying my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
television. But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
We'll find out.
Talk about it.
Yo, bro, this nigga is a toxic nigga, bro. Yo, bro, where the bro? I ain't gonna lie. Yo, bro, nigga, I'm taking these tactics, bro. Yo, bro, we already know that didn't happen. We'll find out. Like, we'll see. Like, oh, I ain't wrong, nigga. I ain't gonna say I am either, nigga. The show must go on, nigga. The show must go on.
You know, this is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney.
There's always somebody with Dick in their name, bro. That's up there, bro.
Up there, yeah.
The fucking little freaky ass niggas need to go their ass inside.
And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond.
Yeah, thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And
did we hear anything about the Taliban and all of that?
Got the guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired him. So he writes a book. Another one writes a book. Because with me, they can write books. With nobody else can they. But they have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back.
Nigga.
Yo,
bro.
it's a popularity contest for him.
He's a
It's
fucking
literally
celebrity,
a
bro.
popularity contest.
That's some shit some celebrity would say, bro.
Yo, this nigga has Hall of Fame deflect.
I got more followers. I got more fucking
Hall of Fame deflect, bro.
Like, what are you talking about, bro?
This nigga chased down artists on Hall of Fame, bro. Word of bro.
Nah, bro.
This nigga got pick dodger, all that, bro.
All that.
He got the whole thing on lock. Yo, bro.
Crazy.
Nigga said, yo, President Trump, do you want to rebuttal? Yeah, Taliban.
Taliban,
Nigga.
I got more followers.
And I got more
followers.
Cloud it up. Cloud it up, you heard? Stop playing with me. Like,
What you gonna say that?
Back to your deportation proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S.
With local
military.
police, yes.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
I'll be like this.
It is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country, and they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know?
She been writing that.
That's why he responded like that. Cause she writing notes. She on topic.
She writing the shit that he seen. Like,
Nigga,
this nigga ain't writing
she
shit.
actually debated with the
Literally,
debate
bro.
style, nigga. This
She
nigga
a lawyer.
said, nigga, she wants to do
I'm about to
this.
say she's literally a lawyer. This is in her, like, she
Yeah,
learned.
bro.
She went to school for this. Like, she about to bring up everything that he's not bringing up.
Yep.
The crime in
He's about to show you that willpower. all you need is willpower, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down. You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to
That's all the nigga gotta say, bro. Nigga,
do what the fuck I do. I'm a child.
like, nigga, one way or another, we will fight and make America great again, nigga. You don't give a fuck, bro.
wow.
No.
And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down. All over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country.
Excuse me, the FBI defrauded. They were defrauding statements. They were at levels that nobody thought.
Police shooting black people and people of color.
Every time
That's your
they say some shit,
Like,
that they
what
can
the
say,
fuck?
actually, President Trump, that shit.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country.
Excuse me, the FBI they were defrauding statements.
Oh,
They
shit.
didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud.
Why would
Just
they
like
not
their number of
include that?
808.
Bro, he won't say he's wrong.
Like,
They
he-
did
include the
nigga, tell them check the facts. Like, they didn't include Chicago, the worst city.
Like,
They skipped past New York.
How the fuck would they do
They,
that?
so they didn't want to make it seem like it's me. Like,
He's
nah.
literally the worst
Yo,
narcissist.
bro.
You do not need that man back.
Yo, bro, he's top 5.
18,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Trump.
Well, I think this is so rich, coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found.
Chill, man. If this shit break, nigga, I don't know what the fuck to say.
That nigga, That nigga face, yeah, bro. That's
Tim break is over. That's just like, whoa.
oh,
Let's be clear
like,
where each person
Why you
stands
looking
like
on
that?
the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law
Is he about to
and
run the
respect for
country
law
from behind
enforcement.
himself?
The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address the needs of the American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan for, address what we must do to support our small business.
That which I have a plan for is very key.
Address bringing down the price of groceries. But frankly, the American people
Why
are
not $8
exhausted
Kamala?
with this same old tired playbook.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Excuse me. Every one of those cases was started by them against their political opponent. And I'm winning most of them, and I will win the rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them. But those are cases, it's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the Justice Department. Every one of those cases was involved with the DOJ, from Atlanta and Fani Willis to the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York. Every one of those cases. And then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents
You did
case.
the crime.
And what happened in my...
That's what
I
made
ain't gonna
people go
lie.
after you.
I ain't gonna lie. Hold on. He kind
He's
of
not
talking his
cooking.
shit.
He's
trying-
not cooking.
I ain't gonna lie. He's kind of talking his, bro. He just, bro. You see how Trump got his little deflection going on? He just countered with his deflection, like how he do shit. Like peep. Watch this.
No.
The DA in New York, every one of those cases, and then they say, oh, he's a, every...
You gotta go back more.
They hit him with what he hit us with. You see how he says whatever and then don't say like the solution, or he'll say something and then he's the cause of it, and he'll say that he fixed it. That's what he's saying. Like, yo, bro, they arrested me. He's not gonna say like what he did, but he's gonna say they sent out to arrest me. So that's the only reason why, nigga. But nigga, we know the real. Like,
to
why?
the Attorney General of New York and the DA in New York, every one of those cases, and then they say, oh, he's a criminal. They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand.
On this notion of weaponization.
What the fuck is these?
What you mean?
What the fuck that say? 2-5 what? What's that number?
I don't know.
I think that's the clock.
It's probably the clock.
Oh, it's a 3-minute timer. Oh, clock. Alright, that's another
probably-
clock.
yeah, it's probably
Alright,
the
yeah,
timer.
these the timers. These them. Alright, and they got hella notes too.
That's like the
Yeah, I'm about to
questions
say they gotta have hella notes. They got all the questions.
I ain't gonna lie, they got a whole bunch of nothing and it's dull and black back here, bro. Nigga got a chalkboard. Is that a chalkboard?
No,
Ain't
it's not a chalkboard. I didn't know
Just
the
like-
picture.
that shit don't got no
Justice
nothing on it.
Department.
It's
Well,
just a
let's
blue
talk
picture.
about extreme and understand the
that's the
context
picture.
in which this election in 2024 is
That's
taking
behind
place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political
No, they twisted my words
enemies.
again.
Someone who has
He
openly
literally said
Again, you
expressed
got it wrong.
disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no
Because he got
guardrails.
blocked from
Because
every
certainly we
social
know
media.
that the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him.
So the nigga,
It's up to the
so the
American
nigga made
people.
his own social
President
media.
Harris.
Thank you.
It just been saying
Vice
whatever the
President
fuck
Harris,
you want.
in your last run for president,
Literally insane.
This is the one that weaponized, not me.
I don't know a
American
fucking
people.
yo, bro. I don't know a fucking powerhouse. Nigga.
Nah.
That's some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
that is some crazy.
Vice
To
President
stop
Harris.
him.
So y'all niggas not going silent.
Vice President Harris, in your last
You
run
gonna
for
hear
president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me.
Yeah,
They
you
talk about
that shot.
democracy. I'm a threat to democracy.
Ain't no fucking
They're
bullet to the
the
head.
threat
No
to
bullet
democracy with a
President
fake Russia investigation
We do have a lot to
that
get-
went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President
He don't give a fuck.
President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't.
Fuck is
You wanted
that?
mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported.
It's basically, I think it's basically she wants to do like buyback on guns and like, you know, get basically like a lot of the guns off the street by buying them back from people or whatever. But she's recanting that because she's a gun owner as well. And she's about to explain why. Okay, go ahead.
Decriminalizing border crossings.
she
Now
gonna
you're
be
taking
with
a
that.
harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every one of the, at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is that we have got to invest in diverse sources of energy so we reduce our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history because of an approach that recognizes that we cannot over-rely on foreign oil. As it relates to my values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid raised by a hardworking mother who worked and saved and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager. The values I bring to the importance of home ownership, knowing not everybody got handed $400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders
Stop
to
fucking
increase.
smiling like that.
Nah,
That shit
he
weirds me out,
filed
bro.
bankruptcy 6 times.
Yeah.
Bro, he felt a lot.
But
Damn.
you gotta think that man probably wasn't even
You wasn't
in
even
bankruptcy. He probably had the
Bankruptcy,
cash
nigga,
stacked
yeah,
away. You
no,
just
but
don't have no money in
bankruptcy-
your account.
Bankruptcy.
And nothing to your name.
Nigga, they give you money, basically.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. If you file for bankruptcy, they'll
They
give
give
you
you
money.
money.
You just have to
Right.
basically have nothing.
Yeah. If that nigga filed 6 times, that nigga got 6 checks. It's like basically, bro.
3 million homes, increased by 3 million homes by the end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the importance of standing up for those who are most vulnerable. My work that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare is based on long-standing work that I have done, protecting seniors from scams. My values have not changed. And what is important is that there is a president who actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader is the leader who actually understands that.
We need that. Fuck that. Fuck what she's talking about. Nigga, that's the reason why WWE got ass. Nigga, fuck that, nigga. That's the reason why everybody's soft today, nigga. Because of the bullying, they want to stop bullying, stop. No, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Cutting ass, bro. Cutting ass.
What'd she say?
But look.
And not beating people down and name-calling. The true measure of the leader.
No. We being people down and we name calling. Right? You need that in this world. You need that. You need that to stay on top.
It's basically the method of extracting oil and natural gases from underneath the rocks formation. So basically, our oil and oil and gas. So
what is that? That's fracking.
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 It's basically the oil and the gas extractions.
Okay.
That we be like, you know how we get oil to like, you know, make shit work or whatever in our country.
Okay.
Is the leader who actually understands the strength is not in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your
Well, first of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many big...
He's been saying this shit for years. He didn't never change the story. A tiny fraction. His father gave him a tiny fraction.
Billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now.
Oh.
If you don't mind, please.
Daddy's home.
Does that sound familiar?
First of all, you can't even fucking hear her mic.
She went out. She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people, that burned down Minneapolis, she went out and raised money to get them out of jail. She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to come.
Aliens.
No, that's
what
crazy.
are you talking about? Those are human beings.
No, that's crazy. No, I believe that. I really believe that. I ain't gonna lie.
You believe what?
Bro, that they funding that shit for the transgenders. Like, bro, how?
I 100% don't think that. I don't think that.
That shit weird, bro.
What is an illegal alien?
I don't know, but I don't 100% agree with the whole transgender thing and them being in jail.
I ain't gonna lie. This is about to make me have to pick up the Black Law Dictionary, bro. Cause, like, when you look it up in the Black Law Dictionary, the words that we saying it don't mean what it mean. Like.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I don't necessarily agree with the jail making it easier for the jail inmates to turn transgender this time of third, because at the end of the day, they're there for a reason, and you know, I just feel like that's for after they get out of jail to experience that and go through that. But I do agree with giving transgenders the exact help that they need, the ones that are outside of jails. Like, they need help, and they aren't getting the right help that they need.
They need to stop with those fucking procedures. That's what they need to do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Think that they are born in the wrong body.
No.
And that's okay.
Oh, they need to think the right way. Simple.
Okay, well, maybe you don't have
They're back to being an abomination. That's crazy.
Not agree with this. Do not do this.
Zay is cancel prone.
I'm about to say.
You gotta understand that.
Oh, bro, I've been canceled like 8 times, bro. I don't care about what they got to talking about. What?
Okay,
Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical.
But if you are gonna go against like what I'm saying, protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Cause these niggas that's listening, they don't care. They ruthless.
Well, I don't really give a damn about them. I'm just going to say how I feel about it, because at the end of the day, I just feel like if you're in jail, you don't need to get no damn procedure done like that. You just need to worry about getting out of there and doing your time, and then worry about that. But the people that are outside and want to experience that and don't feel like they're in the right body or don't feel whole, yes, give them what they need.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
The left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one. Just to finish one thing so important in my opinion. So I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400, 500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that we
for the
have to get
environment
to.
that
We're
she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days. And I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis.
He says what he doesn't care.
We might need a break, intermission, do the rest tomorrow.
we could
Mr.
talk
President,
about-
on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video
Like now,
message
it's really
telling
time for us to break down what a debate is. Like,
I've
what they
seen some
debate.
shit. Yeah, like I want to go see that nigga Obama debate or something. But I seen some shit after this debate, and it was like the nigga said like 15 wrong statements or some shit like that, or like 50. It was some shit. It was like all the shit that they said. It was like a slide. I wonder if I could find it. And it was all the shit that they said.
Probably in
and
your
what
life,
was-
it's on
what was
TikTok.
right and wrong. Nah, I think it was
And this?
yeah, like well, like I think Kamala had like one thing that she said that was like
That was
false,
Yeah.
and that nigga had like mad shit, bro.
I mean, that's just what it is. Like, do you want a liar in the office, or do you want
And that's what
somebody
I'm saying,
who
like-
at least understands
That's
the
it.
problems and situations
That's
that's going on?
You felt that?
Like,
I
I'm
heard
not sure. Yeah, I heard some things too.
But if I'm
But,
watching this, bro,
like
it's
I
like
said-
I'm like it's like, bro, I'm not even believing.
Like,
Right. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie. I
Your
feel
support.
like
who's that?
I made sure it was the nigga with the temperature on 90 degrees. Nigga, I don't know. It
Who the
wasn't
fuck
us.
put on it on 90 degrees?
I thought-
in my
I thought
fucking
y'all
house,
did that
too.
shit
That
when
shit
y'all
was
left.
hot. as fuck.
I know why I can't do that shit. I know I ain't do that shit.
it was that
I had to be that
work.
nigga.
I ain't gonna lie. It was hot in here for me too, right?
Nigga, once I came in,
That bitch said 90 degrees. I ain't never put that bitch
Orders
say
to
90
go
now.
on.
Dead ass.
Oh,
Ah, yo, hold on.
It was over.
So y'all what y'all wanna do? What y'all wanna do? Y'all wanna halfway
finish it?
end it,
I
or
ain't
y'all
gonna
wanna
lie,
finish
bro.
it?
I would say let's just get it to like 50
These niggas.
50 minutes, and then we'll have what,
You
50
turned
minutes
it, you
long?
turned it back.
Yeah.
Because what's that?
Or I might post it today, see how that shit doing for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm about to
and
say
then-
do like a part 2.
Alright,
I think niggas even want them.
So look, if y'all want part 2,
I
we
ain't
stopping it
gonna
right here.
It's
Y'all
much
make sure
of
y'all
fucking
comment,
lies.
y'all like the video.
Niggas
But
chatting.
let's really break
Follow
down.
me on Instagram, Simone XOXO_.
I can't even cut that shit out. You know I would.
Instagram. Any of y'all niggas follow her, I'ma just remove her.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie. We seeing them. We seeing all
girls.
this.
Follow the page, girlies.
But anyways, this shit is just crazy. Cause like, these niggas is just saying shit, bro.
Yeah.
And like, whatever they saying, everything they saying is so that they win. So
Yeah.
it's like, not really.
Yeah,
Regardless,
bro.
I
I feel like the most competent and the best person to vote for right now in efforts to save America, as Donald Trump keeps saying, is Kamala Harris. She is young, she's smart, she has experience that we can look back on. You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, she has to bring to the table, and I just feel like vote for Kamala.
Yo, that
If you
nigga
would like
Jay just
to
look
be a
like he
woman
fit through the door.
without
Slim as hell.
issues.
That
Let me
eyes
just
like
say
he
that.
got a little skinny or some shit. Gangsta.
Oh shit. Yeah, gang.
But y'all already know the vibes. We fuck with y'all. I know y'all love watching us react. I love to react. And we out.